Thank you for joining me here at Lowry Sports Rhetoric. I am your host, Nathan Lowry. I wanted to jump on and give my thoughts on the pre-draft situation for the Indianapolis Colts going into the draft. Give you some players to look out for, some names that I like, especially that fall in the positions that we might be able to actually get them. I want to go ahead and start by giving you what our positions are here. In the second round, we have number 42. In the third round, we have pick number 73. In the fourth round, we got pick 122nd. We have two fifth-round picks, 159th, 179th. And then sixth round, 216, one seventh round, 239th. Obviously, during trades and stuff like that, any of this could change, but I'm going to address it just based off of the picks that we currently have, not going for any trades or anything like that, just giving straight out, hey, here are the people that are available at these slots. So I'm going to go ahead and start with wide receiver, which I think has been a big topic this offseason. Who are we going to pair up with Michael Pittman and give some targets there for Matt Ryan to throw to as he begins his career here in Indy. So without further ado, in the second round, the first person I have, which actually might be a little bit of a stretch, I believe he's probably going to go in the first, but it is possible that he gets overlooked a little bit and falls. There are some really good wide receivers, so maybe some people get their wide receiver and they start focusing on other positions. There's major depth here at wide receiver. So Christian Watson, he's from North Dakota State University, 6'4", 208 pounds, runs a 4.36 40 time, 43 receptions, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns last year. I think he played in a system in a offense that didn't really utilize him as much as some of these other guys. 43 receptions is fairly low, but at 800 yards with 43 receptions, I mean, I'm excited about it. 7 touchdowns, very athletic. He's rising up the boards really high. So, again, I would be surprised if he was available. We'll pick here at number 42. But if he is, then I think we should go with Christian Watson. I love big wide receivers, and having him and Pittman together would just be amazing as far as I'm concerned. Can't forget about Michael Strahan, the pick that they got last year, I believe 5th or 6th round, and he might end up stepping out here and having a big season too as well. We don't know what's going on with that, but Christian Watson would be a great pair up. If they decide to go in a different route, I believe Sky Moore is much more likely to be there. This is Sky Moore out of Western Michigan. He is 5'10", 195 pounds, runs a 4.4 140 time. Last year had 95 receptions, 1,292 yards and 10 touchdowns. I think he would be a perfect fit for what we're looking for, looking to replace that Paris Campbell kind of a player. And obviously Paris Campbell's a good wide receiver who just can't stay healthy and stay on the field. Hopefully Sky Moore gives us more consistency at that position if that's the way they decide to go. Obviously very fast and definitely somebody that put up much production with 95 receiving yards, 1,292 yards. They trusted him, 10 touchdowns. He got through to a lot. In the third round, one of my favorites here, Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati. I like almost any player that came out of Cincinnati, but 6'3", 213 pounds, run a 4.4 140 time. His stats last year were 52 receptions, 884 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Again, they spread the ball around a lot in Cincinnati, but 52 receptions, 884 yards is good. 8 touchdowns. I'm pretty excited about this. Watching them, Alec Pierce has everything I'm looking for in a wide receiver, and I would be very excited. Again, I like these big wide receivers, and I think we do too, as the Colts have been drafting and looking forward to. So, also in the third, maybe even the fourth round, but I'm probably in the third, is my favorite wide receiver. I'm a bit of a Memphis fan. Calvin Austin out of Memphis, 5'9", 162 pounds, obviously a smaller receiver, 4.32 burner 40 time. His stats last year, 74 receptions, 1,149 yards, and 8 touchdowns, very high productivity. The year before, Calvin Austin was even better. I think he isn't getting as much attention, mostly because of his size. I will give him that. That's pretty light. But also just because I think Memphis took a step back last year after Brady White moved on, and Calvin Austin didn't get the eye-popping numbers that he did the year before, but I think he is that type of wide receiver, and I love Calvin Austin, love it, and hope that this is one of the routes that they decide to go, because he could also fill that role of a very fast burner type that can get open and get some of those deep balls. And then in the fourth or fifth, probably the fourth, I have David Bell out of Purdue, 6'2", 205 pounds, 4.65 40 time, 93 receptions, 1,286 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Again, high productivity. He got used a lot there in Purdue. Big part of that offense, and I like him. I think he probably matches more what Pittman is, even like down to the size. Really, Pittman's a little bit bigger than he is, but yeah, I think I don't know that this would be the best fit for us, but he is available here in the fourth if that was where they decided to go with him. So, and I do like him. I think he's a good receiver. Just not 100% sold that that's the right fit for what we're looking for. And then in the seventh round, I have Ty Freifogel out of IU, 6'2", 205 pounds, runs a 4.53 40 time. Also another big receiver, which I like. 46 receptions, 512 yards last year with only 1 touchdown. And I get that those stats do not impress. That does not look good. He took a step back, played much more the year before, which he had 37 receptions for 720 yards and 7 touchdowns there in 2020. I think they got much better quarterback play, and I think that aided in his better year the year before. But I do believe he is flying under the radar. I think he's much better than the 7th round grade would indicate, but a lot of people even have him as an undrafted free agent. I personally think it would be a good selection here in the 7th round if they decided to go that late with one. All right, now we're going to get to what I think is the best position and most important position. A lot of people probably will disagree with me on this, but I don't really care. Tight end. I actually feel like we have gone through several quarterbacks now that thrived with tight ends, and we never even gave them the tight end as an option. Obviously, we had Doyle. I think he's just a mediocre. He was very consistent. He was somebody that stayed on the field great, but I wouldn't consider him a great tight end by any means. And obviously Mo Ali Cox, who I like a lot, but he just isn't. He isn't there. He's not a number one. So I would like to see us go after Trey McBride, who I feel like is clearly the number one tight end in the league, or in the draft. It is possible that he's not even going to be there for our pick. I hope that if we do want him and we want to go this route, we'd be willing to trade up to get him if need be. But if he, for some reason, slips this far, man, I would absolutely love to get Trey McBride. I do think it's possible that he slips this far, but anyways, he's out of Colorado State, 6'4", 260 pounds, runs a 4.56 40 time. I mean, beautiful numbers. 90 receptions, 1,121 yards, and 1 touchdown. Only 1 touchdown. Maybe you'd like to see more if we're out of that. But he is a good blocker. He's a good receiver. I think he's hand down the best tight end. And I think that is a gigantic hole in our offense that we haven't addressed. And people don't talk about it as much as they should. I really, really hope that this is the route that they go because Matt Ryan has shown that he works well with tight ends, and I just feel like giving him that option would be a smart play and something that I think we need to focus on. In the 3rd round, I have Jeremy Ruckert out of Ohio State, 6'5", 250 pounds, 4.7 40 time. Last year he had 26 receptions for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a good blocking tight end as well. I would say that I wouldn't be as excited about this if we don't get Trey McBride. I do like some of these tight ends. I just don't necessarily feel like, I don't know. We obviously have to address the issue, but I'm not sure where they would be as far as their development. Maybe we still need to add somebody in the free agency, some kind of a veteran, even if he's not the greatest tight end, but somebody with some kind of background. I think Trey McBride could step in there and be that guy, but I think even at Jeremy Ruckert here in the 3rd, we would have to address that still in the free agency as well, or trade. And then in the 4th round, I have Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina. He is 6'4", 240 pounds, a little bit of a smaller tight end, really, but 4.80 40 time. It's not terrible. 59 receptions, 912 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Obviously, at Coastal Carolina, he put up some major work. 12 touchdowns, 912 yards. I do like that. I think he's a very capable tight end, but much like Jeremy Ruckert, I just don't think that he would step into that number one role. So we'll have to see how they go. Again, I'm really hoping they'll go after Trey McBride here with the 2nd pick in the draft. So, all right. Now on to safety, which is a position that I don't 100% know that they're going to focus on. However, I personally think that they should, much like tight end. I think that in Gus Bradley's system, I think we need a really good, especially hard hitting safety. But here are some of the guys that popped out to me. The first would be in the third round, Kirby Joseph from Illinois. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, runs a 4.3 40, had 41 solo tackles, 5 interceptions, 2 pass deflects. Pass deflects were kind of low. Love the interception work. I would be very excited here with Kirby Joseph here at the third. I think that's a very good pick. And the next is going to be in the fourth round. And this is something that I'm extremely high on. I actually hope this is what they do and go for. Nick Cross out of Maryland. He's 6'1", 210 pounds, runs a 4.3 4.40 time, 44 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, and 5 pass deflects. Love the numbers. I love the diversity there. 2 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions. I mean, he kind of plays all over the place, and I think that fits a lot of what our defense was at least set up before. It's going to be interesting to see how that changes under Gus Bradley, but I do think Nick Cross would be somebody that fits very well in this Gus Bradley system. He loves using his safeties, and I think this guy has everything that you could possibly want. In the fourth round here would be a great pick. I'm not sure he's going to fall that far, but I'm really hoping that he does. And then here in the fifth or sixth round, I have Verone McKinley III out of Oregon. He's 5'11", 194 pounds, runs a 4.65 40 time, had 44 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 6 interceptions, 6 pass deflects. As a Ducks fan, I got to watch Verone McKinley play. He was one of my favorite players there. I know that we had Thibodeau, but I actually really probably liked Verone McKinley better. I love the way that he plays. He's got a lot of heart, and he is a hard-hitting safety. He can lay the wood. I guess he does need some help with some of the tackling, getting that wrapped up, and he is a little bit of a smaller guy. But at the same time, I think he plays bigger than he is. And obviously, 6 interceptions. He is a ball hawking safety, and I like that personally. I hope that fits in with what Gus Bradley's doing, and I would like to see them pick them up, especially because I'm a Ducks fan. I love him. I love Ron McKinley. All right. Next, I'm going to address tackle. I'm not sure that what we're doing here with the tackle, and I would say that I think some of these tackles later on in the round might not be the way that you want to go, but I'm going to give you just a few of them as an example. The first one I like a lot is Daniel Falil, and this is if we decide to go with somebody in the second. I'm not sure that he would be there past our second round pick. 6'9", 387 pounds, very large, like a brick wall, out of Minnesota. And I like him a lot. I think that he would be a great fit for our team. I think that's the kind of guy that you could see being a starter pretty quickly. And yeah, I definitely would like to see him if that's what they decide to do at the second round. I'm not sure this is what I would do, but going with a tackle there, I hope that that's the pick. I do like him a lot. And then in the third round, I have Kellen Deutsch. I hope that's how you say his name, Deutsch, out of Arizona State. 6'7", 299 pounds. A little bit thin for a guy who's 6'7" at the lineman position, but he's extremely athletic, and the tape doesn't lie. He definitely puts that weight to good use. Like I said, very athletic, gets a lot of push down the field, stuff like that. So he might have a little bit of a struggle against some of the big guys here in the NFL as opposed to college, and that's something that you just have to see. Who knows? You could probably put on weight, I'm sure, but I would be excited about that pick in the third. In the fourth, which I don't think he would even drop this far, I wrote him down anyways because I wanted to give that option. You never know if some of these tackles start going off the board, and then it kind of slows down. He might find himself in that slower range out there, but I doubt. But Cole Strange out of Chattanooga, 6'5", 307 pounds. Sorry. I think that this is a good pick here in the fourth. Again, not sure he's going to drop that far, maybe late third, but we have to see. If we ended up with him in the fourth, I would actually be happy about that. And then the last one is going to be in the fifth round, and that's going to be Thayer Munford from Ohio State. He's 6'6", 321 pounds. I think this also would be a good option, and especially here at the fifth, he's one of those guys that get a bit of later round grade, and seems like it could end up being a good fit eventually, probably a project piece, but I wouldn't mind them going that route with this player. Okay, I'm going to go linebacker now. I don't know that they want to go linebacker. This is a position that I see could be available, but they might feel pretty good about their linebacking core already. I'm just thinking maybe adding some depth. So I'm going to start off with the first one I have here is Darian Beavers out of Cincinnati. Again, I like a lot of the players that came out of Cincinnati. I have him with a third round grade. 6'4", 255 pounds. He's got a 4.48 40 time. Had 46 solo tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. Again, here in the third, I think it would be great value. I don't know that that is what they're going to do, but I definitely think if they decide to go with linebacker, he would be a good fit here at this slot. In the fourth, I have Troy Anderson out of Montana State. He's 6'4", 235 pounds. Has a 4.42 40 time. Again, this is a player that I could see actually going a little earlier than this, but he could slip this far as well. When you go to Montana State, not as many eyes on you, not as much buzz, and I think that it would be a good player at a good value if he does slip, and we can get him here in the fourth. He had 96 solo tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 interceptions. I didn't mention that. 96 solo tackles, that's a lot of work. Okay. Micah McFadden. Out of IU in the 6th or the 7th round. He's 6'2", 232 pounds, runs a 4.63 40 time, 49 solo tackles, 6.5 sacks, and a forced fumble. Again, this is another player that, because I come from Indiana, I do keep up on IU football, and I think Micah McFadden maybe slipped off of people's radar a little bit because of the team he played on, much like Freifogel. I think that these are better players than maybe some of the indications are at them, so I think that these are great deals where you can get them here. Some of them have him listed as an undrafted free agent. If that's the case, I hope that they go that route with him as well, but I could definitely see him going here in the 6th or even the 7th round, and it would be a great value pick. Okay, and I got cornerbacks on here. I'm going to take, and I'm just going to toss that out because we went and got Stephen Gilmore. I actually didn't like a lot from the cornerback, not anything that we could realistically get. Lots of cornerbacks higher up in the draft, very, very talented people, but I just don't see us going cornerback here in the draft. Obviously, you can never have enough cornerbacks, and adding it wouldn't surprise me, but they know what they're doing more when it comes to evaluating some of this talent. But when I looked at some of these cornerbacks, just wasn't all that impressed when you get past maybe Roger McCreary in the 2nd from Auburn. But I'm not even going to list it because, to be honest with you, I kind of hope we don't focus on cornerback and go a different route. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and give what I think is like the perfect draft, or would be the best value for what we have at the positions and what I would like to see happen. In the 2nd round, I have Troy McBride out of Colorado State, tight end. Again, to reiterate, I just feel like this is a position that needs a lot more attention than we've given it. I think Matt Ryan knows how to utilize these tight ends. He's done it time and time and time again. So have all of the other quarterbacks that we just had that we never really gave him this guy. I want to give him that guy, and Troy McBride. And I think Trey McBride. I think that he is going to be one of these guys that could turn into a superstar at some point in time. And would love to see him pair up with Mwali Cox. And yeah, I would be super excited if we go this in 2nd. In the 3rd round, I have Calvin Austin out of Memphis. I would love to see him get picked here. I love Calvin Austin, big fan. I struggled with some of the other players like Alec Pierce, but ultimately I think Calvin Austin fits a little bit more what we do, what we're looking for with that little burner underneath, somebody to replace Paris Campbell, and would love to have him here at this pick. In the 4th round, number 122, I've got Nick Cross out of Maryland, the safety. Again, very high on Nick Cross. I think he would be a great pick for the defense that Gus Bradley runs, and would love to see that get picked. So I definitely pick Nick Cross here, and I really hope this happens. Him and Trey McBride are probably the two that I hope happens the most. In the fifth round, I have Thayer Munford, offensive tackle out of Ohio State. I think as far as if you wanted to add a tackle, I think this is a great place to add a tackle with value here for Thayer Munford. Again, I think after you get past some of the top tackles, it kind of dips down a little bit, and I don't want to reach and stretch just to fill a need. But I think here in the fifth round, this would be a great pick. Fifth round, number 179, I have my boy Verone McKinley III out of Oregon. Yes, I do have us taking Nick Cross, a safety already, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it would hurt us to add another person here. And I think Verone McKinley, as much as I love him, probably needs a little bit of work, whereas Nick Cross, I think, is much more likely to step in and take over right away and show great results. But for depth, Verone McKinley here in the late fifth, I think it would be fantastic, and I would be super excited to get him. Go Ducks. In the sixth round, number 216, I have Micah McFadden out of IU, the linebacker. Again, I think that's a great value here in the sixth round if he's available here. He does seem to be getting slept on. I think it would be a great value pick here. I would love to pair him up with Darius Leonard in the back in the linebacking position. And I don't know. I would be excited about that. Maybe a little bit raw still, a little bit of a project. Probably not a starter right away, but something you can work into in a couple of years. And yeah, I would love to see it. In the seventh round, I have another wide receiver, number 239, Ty Freifogel out of IU. And again, like I commented earlier when I was talking about him, I do feel he's a little bit slept on. He had decent stats this year with subpar quarterback play, whereas the year before, when his quarterback was playing at an extremely high level before an unfortunate injury, his stats were really eye-popping. He made a lot of plays that really caught my attention, and I think if he does go here in the seventh round, man, that's great value no matter who it is that gets him, whether it's us or somebody else. So, yeah. All right, I want to wrap that up. Thank you very much for giving us a watch. If you like the content, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Comment below, did you like the players that I picked? Do you have anybody else that you're targeting or somebody that you would like to see? Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and thanks for watching.